This is a vote pod debate, which is kind of, what's that? Actually, this is a little bit of history, because we have tried to do what hasn't happened before, which is to just try and combine music, poetry, and politics in the belief that events are probably better things to come to than just dry meetings. We're also trying to podcast. Not trying, we've actually been doing lots of podcasting and video casting. And any good rammies, those will end up with our faithful team from Napier, who are all volunteers and have been videoing all the proceedings. They are very quick to spot and get close up when something exciting is happening. So, having said all of those things, let me introduce the panel, some of whom may be familiar, some not. Malcolm Chisholm beside me is a sad man. He's a high B.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a good
right. He's obviously a recovering high B then. But anyway, Malcolm has taken bigger knocks in politics than just being kicked out of the cup. He, as you know, was educated here, George Watson's College, went to the University of Edinburgh, became an English teacher. He's been MP for Edinburgh Leith. He was from 1992, served as a junior local government minister, but resigned in 1997 over lone parent benefit cuts. He stood down from the House of Commons in 2001 after being elected to the Scottish Parliament in 1999 for Edinburgh North and Leith. He became Minister for Health and Community Care in 2001 and then Minister for Communities from October 2004. But he stood down again after supporting an SNP motion to oppose the renewal of Trident. Would you please welcome Malcolm Chisholm? Davy Hutchison beside me is the SNP's candidate who hopes to trounce Malcolm here in Edinburgh North and Leith. He isn't Kenny McCaskill, but he works in his parliamentary office. I noticed that David is big on blogging away. He's got on the website North to Leith, where his last posting berates Jack McConnell for failing to turn up at a debate. It's strange that, actually. Davy says one Labour MSP was furious that McConnell refused to appear with other party leaders, leaving it to Lord Fowkes to face SNP leader Alex Salmond.
I'm not the Lord Fowkes of the SNP, am I?
Well, I'm just kind of hinting gently that you need to watch who you criticise, lest your own big guns fail to turn up at certain events. But anyway, we're so delighted to have you, Davy. All ribbing aside, Davy was the SNP researcher who uncovered the 1974 secret government report about Scotland's oil wealth and its supposed... Right, so you've got one fan, right?
Thanks, Mum.
And I think, judging from the wrinkle-free brow of the lady who clapped, she won't be happy at the thought that she's your mum. This is what you get because Davy is the youngest candidate for, miles around, you know, but anyway. Before working at the Scottish Parliament, Davy was a press researcher for a media monitoring company based in Edinburgh. He's a graduate of Dundee University, a member of the Scottish Society of Playwrights, which are a right bunch of troublemakers, and the NUJ, pretty well ditto. Would you please welcome Davy Hutchison? Siobhan Mathers here is Lib Dem candidate for Edinburgh Central. Now, you know Nicol Stevens says the party's big emphasis is on young people. Well, Siobhan has taken the message completely seriously. She managed to get pregnant, so she's actually going to produce another young person. So keen is she on following the party message.
Another Lib Dem voter.
Yes, you see, that in July there's going to be one more. I think you need a few more now, that's the question. But anyway. Siobhan was born in Edinburgh. She graduated twice from the university with an MA and an MBA. She's worked in Brussels and London at senior level. And according to no less than the Sunday Post, she's been running a high-profile campaign with visits from party top brass like Nicol Stevens, Tavish Scott and Charles Kennedy. And it's likely that anti-Labour votes will go to her because people believe that the Lib Dems have the best chance of defeating Ms. Boyack. Would you please welcome Siobhan Mathers? Ian White is the Tory candidate for this constituency. He was born and brought up in Edinburgh, graduated from Edinburgh Uni and worked for the NHS as a quality improvement officer. What is that?
It had lots of things in it.
Right.
But I dealt with complaints amongst other things, Lesley.
Well,
good training for politics.
Well, isn't it just? He's been a member of Edinburgh City Council since '95. He represents Craigleith and is leader of the Tory group in the council. He's a member too of the Advisory Committee on Youth Services, and he was constituency, or I think you still are, constituency assistant to the former Tory leader,
Not
David
anymore.
McClatchy. Right, so don't mention taxis. Would you please welcome Ian White? And hot foot from the other side of the country is Stuart Callison, who's on the West of Scotland list for the Greens. He works as a Deputy Director in Urban Regeneration and is a Scottish Associate of the new think tank, the New Economics Foundation. He has served as a trustee in a number of charities, including the Scarman Trust, which promotes social enterprise and community empowerment. He stood in many previous elections as a Liberal Democrat. Right.
I found a skeleton in my cupboard already.
Yes, okay. And switched to the Greens. And you have, in fact, are you now, you were a Scottish Liberal Democrat councillor, are you still?
No, my wife, until
right.
May the 3rd, my wife was a Liberal Democrat councillor.
So you've got that kind of bipolar household then?
Slightly. It's lively.
Right.
It's always lively.
Okay, would you please welcome Stuart?